Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we're looking at the Scarlet, a buildable ship. It's from the same person who made the Blackthorn buildable town. Basically, it's what it sounds like. You build your own ship, which when I seen it on the store, I thought definitely have to give this one a go, especially since it's from the person who made the Blackthorn, which was such an amazing mod. It was very ambitious. And this one certainly does keep that trend up. So basically, if you go to the docks in Solitude, you'll find a little note on the desk there for the East Empire Trading Company. Is it company? And it will basically tell you to go to a cavern, and there you will find a pretty much run down little pirate town, and the Scarlet ship is there, and you just go in and do the same as you did on Blackthorn and do it up, basically restore it back to the way it was. So let's jump straight in. I've pre-built everything, so you guys know how it works. You basically, it works the same as the Hearthfire DLC, where you get components, you go to a workbench and you build everything up. It's quite a little populated town. It's got just all sorts in it. This is all mainly the crew quarters and that. You got like a little inn there, and there's multiple bedrooms for all the people to stay in. You got a couple of shops. This just looks like a common room. Here you've got like your general store, and there's a blacksmith store just here.
Hi.
Jacob the blacksmith. More bedrooms. This is an alchemy store, I think. Yeah, it's the alchemy store. And a little smelter. So as you go around, this is the area where the Scarlet is. And it's quite a nice little cavern. It's very well decorated. It feels like a little secret pirate cavern. I don't know if they actually are pirates, but you'd assume that they are. The DLC says that it's got two missions with it. The first one is pretty much you come to this cavern and just kill a load of pirates who already live in here. And the second one is to just build up the ship and the cavern itself. So not really missions as I'd put it, but it's got a bit of setup which is quite nice. And we've still got that blue weird effect around some of the workstations, which was in Blackthorn as well. And a few of the NPC faces, or at least a few of them, have got weird mixed up textures on the face, but that was fixed in Blackthorn, so I'd expect to see it fixed here as well. And this is basically your weapon display room, your armor display room. And one thing I did notice is that for some reason, when I went back to Lakeview Manor to get some of my equipment, because I do a stress test on this mod, the chests in the armory have been wiped clean. They were empty, and we've got more display stuff here, a bit like in Blackthorn, which I thought was strange. I don't know if it was specific to the armory and it would have happened any of the three homes that you can build for Hearthfire, or if it was specific to Lakeview Manor. But I'd watch out for that if you are going to use the mod. You may have to go around and check your chests and make sure none of them have been wiped, because obviously I'll get rid of this save after I've used it, but that would be bad for me because I would have lost all my equipment. And again, that weird graphic effect, which was in the blacksmith area in Blackthorn, I don't know what that's from, if it's meant to be like a smoke effect or something like that. And you got a teleport spell there, so you can just appear straight back at the Scarlet. Some type of library. And you can travel, take the ship to different locations using that little model, but more on that in a minute. Multiple crew quarters, it has got a little crew. Again, more crew quarters. And the bathroom, and you can change your appearance in that mirror there. I don't know how with the crew walking around in the ship, I don't know how it would work if you were to like drop an item to like sit it on a shelf or display it. Would they go round and pick it up? I should have tried that actually to see, because I'm not too sure. Again, you can use the create your own spiders and make your own staffs from the, is it the Dragonborn DLC they were added in? And this is specifically labelled as the crew quarters. So again, it's very well decorated. This guy knows what he's doing. When he's making mods, he makes them feel like actual, you know, DLCs. The way they're decorated, they look very nice. It's not like full of sparse open spaces or anything like that, which I've found with a few of the other DLCs that add in new homes. So this is the travel system. So you just go up to the ship's wheel and you can decide where you want to go, which I thought was a great addition, because it wasn't necessarily needed, but as you can see, the ship appears in solitude. It's brilliant. There's a lot of effort's gone into the mod. So, you know, if you wanted to play as a pirate, you'd certainly have enough to do that, especially if you were playing on Frost just on the deck there. You can't go anywhere without your trusty horse. You'd certainly have enough to roleplay as a pirate, and especially if you were doing a hardcore run where you weren't using fast travel. You know, the ship has a purpose. You can actually travel to places, and here I went to Winterhold, I think it is, and I thought, oh, that was a bit, you know, that's not very good the way it's just a little ship there. It must just be solitude the whole Scarlet travels to. But no, it does go to Winterhold as well. It just docks off the port, which when this loading screen's done, you'll see. There we go. So there you can see you're just off the coast of Winterhold, which I thought again was great. The way like no corners were cut with it. Even cities without a dock, it'll find a way of getting you there. Obviously you can't go to all the cities like Whiterun, which is, you know, essentially landlocked. You'd only be able to go to the port cities, but you know, that makes sense, so you can't fault it for that. And it even adds a little map marker so you could fast travel to it if you wanted to. So like I said, this is from the creator of Blackthorn, and I personally have had a few issues when decorating Blackthorn Manor. It causes a crash when you return to the manor. I'm pretty much certain that's all to do with Skyrim graphic overhaul. Once I disabled that and did a hard reset on my console, I was able to go in the manor. So I wanted to just basically stress test this mod and see if the same thing would happen with this one. So I just went round and decorated a few of the armor stands and put some of the unique weapons into the holders, because again, like Blackthorn, it's got all that like special places to display all the special weapons and all the Daedric artifacts and the necklaces that the various necklaces you can get throughout the game. And so that's the big draw for me, is stuff like this, a way to properly display your stuff, because I do find the system that's on the vanilla game of just either putting them in weapon display stands, which there's never enough of them, or just dropping them and then trying to put them into display cases is a pain to deal with. Someone told me a tip actually: if you drop the stuff that you want to place, just drop it on the floor or close to where you want to display it, and then leave the area, like go through a loading screen and then come back and then place the item where you want it to go. It should stay there then. For some reason, if you drop an item and place it straight away, the game tries, when you come back to that area, the game tries to put it back to where it was dropped. But apparently just dropping it, leaving the area and coming back kind of wipes that away, or just tells the game that you want to display it in a certain place so it doesn't try and keep moving it. So if you're having trouble, try that. It did actually work for me with the few things I've done. the Ognum Inferium there. I think that's the name. A little tip for that is because I am a collector. I like to collect as much unique things as I can. So obviously when you use the Ognum book or whatever it's called, I should have read it. It'll disappear after you choose what skills you want to level up. It just disappears. There's the graphic effect on the NPCs I was telling you about. So the best thing to do is to read the book, immediately push B and then push X and drop the book on the floor. That way you get the skill and the book doesn't disappear. So here it is, after I've left the area, saved, closed the game down, started it back up, come to the area. Is it gonna crash? No, it worked fine. So that was a big relief for me. So as you can see, everything seems to be working fine. After the ship was decorated, I can still go to the interior and nothing has disappeared. Now I'd assume that would be true for all the locations, so if I had it docked in Solitude, I could go back. It shouldn't really, in theory, make a difference where you are. So I didn't bother going around and doing all that. But happy to report, seems to be working well. Another high quality mod, apart from those few little issues I told you about. The weapon chests getting wiped in Lakeview Manor was the most concerning. That is a bit of a pain. But other than that, the mod's great, so I highly recommend it. Definitely back up your saves while you're doing it. It seems after I built up the cavern and the ship, is somewhere between then is when the chests got emptied. So I'm sure if you just saved and tested it out, made sure everything's working fine before you continue with your game, you'll be fine. But that concludes this episode, guys, so thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.